thanks for coming. There might be some more folks that slide in, and we have one panelist who's going to come in a bit, I think, I hope. So here's our intention for the next 3 Wednesdays, and you can come to all 3 or come to one, whatever works for you folks. We're trying to give you some more information about some of the similarities and some of the differences going on between this building and the Woods building, and to help you folks think and look ahead a little bit about what your sons and daughters might experience as they go from here to the Woods building and then beyond the Woods building into middle schools, wherever they go. So I'm going to quickly introduce the panelists and then let them talk a little bit about who they are and their children, and then I'm going to ask a starter question and then open it up to you folks to ask what makes sense for you. My one encouragement to you as you think about questions is think about ones that are helpful for the whole group. If you have a question that's really specific to your own child, that's something you might want to hold on to and talk with these folks later. So, Michael Kroll, and Sean Mitchell, and Heather Berkey, and Noel Murphy. And now I know your names. But so why don't you tell us a little bit about you, and I'll step back.
I'm Michael Kroll. I have a son, Cooper, who is in Alice's class this year for the 2nd year. He came in kindergarten, so he spent 1 year in the Meadows building, and then he went off to the Woods building. So I can talk about that experience. We came from outside of the Puget Sound area originally when we moved here. So this is all very new to us, and it's been a great experience.
Okay, I'm Sean Mitchell, and in addition to being the annual fund co-chair, which I know you've all already donated to the annual fund, there's my little plug. I have 2 children who outgrew the little school, and they went on. My daughter is doing college applications right now, which is very exciting. My older son is now in 10th grade, and my youngest is currently in Matt's class in the Woods building. And so I've seen 3 transitions from the Meadows building to the Woods building, and 2 transitions from the Woods building to middle school. So I have lots of information about that.
I'm Heather. I have 2 children here, and Molly-Ann is in Alice's class 5 years ago. She was in kindergarten here, transitioned up, and now I have Blake, who just made the transition from here in kindergarten to 1st grade in Steve's class.
My name is Noel Murphy. I have 2 kids here. Drew is in Alice's class, in the oldest class. We started here when he was 4, so kind of pre-K. We moved back into town. And then Zoe got to start as a 3-year-old, and she's now in Matt's class. And we're applying now for Drew for middle school.
So I wonder if each of you might talk a little bit about when your kids or kid was in the Meadows building and you thought about them moving, considering to move to the Woods or not. What were the things that made you nervous? Questions that you had about the move to that building, and then looking longer, like what their experience might have been like and what you were looking for in the next layer of their educational experience.
Well, I'll start. So I think really it comes down to our oldest daughter is named Grace. This is the one who's applying for college, and in her case, it really wasn't a question. I mean, we thought about places for her to go, but she was the one who said, "Of course, I'm going to stay here." Right? She said she'd been visited by the old, some of the Woods students come down to the Meadows building and help out in classrooms, and so she, that was to her the natural transition beyond this was going to the Woods building. And then once we had that great experience with her, it was sort of easier to take the other kids and say, that they have different challenges, right? Every kid is different. They have different things going on. But the experience we saw with our older daughter was something that we wanted to duplicate with the younger kids. So I think a lot of it was listening to what she wanted to do. But also, I mean, for us, we also looked at the program and we visited classrooms, and we saw what it had done for her in her earlier years, and we wanted to keep that going.
I can talk to the stuff that I worried about, because I got caught in whatever all the parents were saying at the time was, oh, the school's horrible at math, and what was the other one? That that your kids won't know how to take tests when it matters. So those were the two, and I can say confidently, especially with applying for my son in middle school, it really has been a great thing for him not to have to learn that test stress. Where he has to take a big test now for middle school, it's not a big deal. He's just, okay, tell me how to do it, because what they learn here is how to learn, you know. And my daughter Zoe, where we thought she'd have a hard time with math. And Drew, math has been an absolute breeze. Zoe, what I'm learning is that it's taking her a little longer because of her own timetable.